Good evening, half a day, or good morning, depending on where you're watching this from. Okay, come on. I know it's been a minute. Happy Thanksgiving for those that I didn't get to wish that to. I know I've been a little absent this past week. I unfortunately have lost the momentum that I had picked up from going live and having, you know, a good stride basically in gaining my watch hours, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll just keep chugging along and keep working and I'll get there. But this is yet my continued journey to 4K watch hours. So I'm just trying to get my apron on and ran out of paper towels. Because I can get a little messy, so. Put my trash over there for now. My recycle also goes over there for now. All right. One item down. Hello, half a day. Thank you for popping in. So did you guys guess based off of the thumbnail for those that are popping in? Hi, thank you so much for joining. We are going to do some baking tonight. Happy holidays. But like I said, we're going to do some baking tonight. Did you guys figure it out what it was that we were baking? Based off of the ingredients that you saw. With this being the biggest giveaway on what we're baking tonight. But as I mentioned at the start of the live stream, for Thanksgiving, that's the reason why I've been a little bit absent from doing my live streams and even uploading any videos, which, in case you're new to my channel, I started my second season of Vlogmas. Yesterday was my first video. I'm uploading another one now, which will be available after the live stream is over. So go check it out. Hi, welcome in. Good evening, half a day. But we are going to be baking some cookies tonight. So as I was trying to say, for Thanksgiving, my contribution to the table, other than a couple of other dishes, I also made chocolate chip cookies from scratch. And throughout the night, I kept hearing people, who made the cookies? Who made the cookies? I was like, well, I did. I had 2 trays of cookies, and before the end of the night, they were all gone. Hello, good evening, half a day. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. And if you do by chance subscribe to my channel, I thank you. I appreciate that. If you're new, don't forget to make your subscription to my channel stick. Go back when you get the chance and watch one of my short videos or even one of my recently uploaded long form videos, and that'll help with the subscription to my channel. Hey, how's it going? Well, I'm sure here in about an hour be doing so much better because we're going to be making chocolate chip cookies. My husband said, because he was like, did you are there any more cookies left? I was like, no, I can bake some more. So he was like, okay. So we are going to start, and I am not ashamed to say that the recipe I use comes from Crisco. Crisco, if you guys haven't paid attention to the fact, when you use some of the baking products, such as Crisco, oh, well, thank you. You're so sweet. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate it. On the inside on the inside of such a product like Crisco, they offer up recipes. And I've been doing this for years now. But one of the things I really enjoy is their chocolate chip recipe. So this is what I use. I only tweak it ever so lightly. And that when you can do that when it comes to a lot of things that you're going to make, whether you're frying, baking, whatever. If you don't want it, don't add it. If you want something different, add it. You got to tweak it to your liking, to your family's liking, or whatever. Hey, Presley, good evening, and thank you, Holiday. So yes, any recipe y'all come across, don't be afraid to play with it, to add to it, to take away from it, because you'll never know, you'll end up discovering your very own recipe that you can pass down on to your family. But we are going to start with some flour. Like I said, for Thanksgiving, one of the dishes that I had made was potato salad, because it was initially we had planned for it to be an all-American, but we were also celebrating my oldest brother's joining the 60s club. So it was also his birthday. And he wanted some Chamorro food, which is where I'm from Guam. So it ended up being a mix of both American dishes, the traditional stuff that you would see on the table for Thanksgiving, and then some of our island dishes. He wanted potato salad, so I made potato salad. Excuse me a moment. You would think as often as I make this that I would remember what to do, but I don't always remember what to do. Again, if you're just now joining, good evening. We're going to be baking cookies thanks to Crisco. I use their recipe. All right, so the first step says to beat shortening, brown sugar, milk, and a little bit of vanilla. All right, so for the Crisco, it does say to use 3/4. Oh. Why don't you come out of there without me? Why aren't you coming out? That's a first. It's stuck in the tub. Okay, well, I'm going to have to improvise here a little bit. All right, so it's requiring 3/4 cup of, so I'm just going to mark where the 3/4 cup, if it doesn't want to come out, I'm going to improvise as I just said. So this marks the 3/4. And then we'll just scoop it out. Now I had no choice but to come out. All right. So that was that. I got the shortening. We want brown sugar. Now this was one of the ingredients that I tweaked. in this recipe, it does ask for light brown sugar. And I do have light brown sugar, but I prefer dark. So we want 1 1/4 cup. And because I am using the dark brown sugar, I am not putting the full 1 1/4 because as you know, with the dark brown sugar, that means it's going to be a little sweeter, and I don't want it to be too sweet. So I barely put over a cup. I do more closer to just a cup of the dark brown sugar because, like I said, it is sweeter. All right. Milk and vanilla. So we want 2 tablespoons of milk. And then we're going to add the vanilla. And I like using this one. It's very fragrant, but ever since my sister showed me to use this, when it comes to baking and anything that asks for vanilla, this is what I use. So it's about a tablespoon of vanilla. And we want to go ahead and we're going to beat those ingredients together. So we've got the shortening, the brown sugar, the milk, and the vanilla. Come on. Why don't you want to go in there? No, you don't go in there. Don't give me an issue now. Come on. Okay. I was going to say we're having technical issues. All right, so now it does say to go ahead and blend this well. And then after here, I do not want to mess with this while it's still plugged in. Did you guys just see that? Technical issues. Come on. There we go. Nope. Oh, come on. And this was one of my... Why aren't you sticking in there? Why do all my... Babe, it won't stick. It is, and then you know what that means?
Is that the right one?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
I'm sure.
because I used it when I made the cookies the last
I
time.
have like 800 of them. Are you sure that's the
Yes,
right
yes, this is the right one.
one? There it is. It sticks.
No, it won't. It's gonna fall out.
Right.
That's what happened when I did this. See? It's gonna fall out. Oh. So you know what that means? I get to do this by hand.
Are you
I've
sure
got
this
it.
is the right one?
Yes.
How sure?
Those were the ones that I used when I baked it the last time, when I baked it on Thursday. Oh,
Find that.
where did that one come from? Oh, my bad. My bad. I forgot when my sister was here. When my sister was here, she also had her blender. Whoopsie. My bad. I could have sworn. I was like, why would there be another pair of this tool? And I forgot. All right, back to work. Hey, NATO, half a day. Good evening. Never lick the beaters while the mixture is running. No, you definitely. My hubby just said he tries not to. All right, so we want to start off low. So I do have it on 1, and you just want to make sure that it gets here. Let's come a little bit closer. Arid, extra dry. You guys can see what I'm doing. So like I said, you want to do it until it's well blended. Don't forget to smash that like, y'all. And then from here, we are going to slowly, now I got to toss these back into the sink to get them washed. Let's see. Now we're going to add the egg. We only need 1, so I'm going to put the rest back in the fridge. And like I said, prior to Thursday, it's been a little while since I've actually made this recipe, so that's why I'm still looking at the measurements and what to do. Because if I made this often, now bumping it up to 2, I wouldn't have to do this. But definitely you want to make sure you want to mix and get the egg nice and well incorporated in there. Alright, so now let's get back to adding the flour. So I just did 1 cup flour, and we're going to need 2 cups. little bit of salt. This is a half a teaspoon that I'm using, so put 2 scoops in there. All right, so we've got the flour, we got the salt. Now we need the baking soda. This one calls for 3/4, so I'm doing 1.5. Got the baking soda. Yep. So I don't know if y'all had seen that when you popped in, but don't ask what? NATO. You so crazy. Since I have to wash it anyways, let me use this to give my dry ingredients a quick mix. You want to make sure the baking soda, the salt is well incorporated into the flour. I mean, I've done it in the past and that's the other reason why I like to use the sifter whenever I'm adding all the dry ingredients. Hey, Matt. Thank you so much. Good evening. Half a day. I've done it in the past when I've made cookies, and if it's not well blended or mixed for the dry ingredients, especially when you're dealing with any of the baking stuff like the baking soda, the baking powder, yeah, that's not fun. Merry Christmas, Jettison. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. So again, don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. Looks like we are up to 16 likes. Come on. Let's keep it going. But for those of you guys that are just now popping in, we are using Crisco recipe. We are making chocolate chip cookies. I've made slight tweaks to this recipe. With the first one, it calls for light brown sugar, but as you can probably tell by the batter, I use dark instead, and I just reduced the amount of the dark brown sugar. And then I'm going to show you another tip once we've done combining all of the ingredients. Now you want to add the dry and the wet slowly at a time, a little bit at a time. And also keep it down on low. And what that does is it just really helps again with any clumping, and it just makes it easier, because you know how it is when you're dealing with flour in a blender. You have flour flying everywhere. Hey Corey, good evening. Hope all has been well with you and your family too. Happy holidays. I am on the second to last step of making my cookie batter. All right, we're gonna add the last of the dry. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more wet to that for whatever reason. It is running a little dry. So I'm just adding a tablespoon of milk to help wet that down a little bit more so it doesn't look so dry. Just trying to get some of the batter out of the beaters. Maybe that's part of the reason why. I had to get some of the dough out of there. All right. All right, so here's another tip when it comes to making cookies. And like I said, everybody will have their own little tricks, their own little tips when it comes to making cookies or just about any dish. And I'm just offering up what I do. And if you guys have any, they're good multi-purpose stoves. Oh wait, I have the same type of stove. It's way better than those old ones with the little metal bowls underneath the burners, right? I mean, this is a flat top. Sometimes, I mean, this is what I've been used to with the electric stove tops. I've had to deal with gas stove tops. Yeah, I tend to burn my food a lot quicker with those type of ovens or stoves. All right, so a lot of you guys probably do this already. When it comes to, you know, the different ways you can make cookies. I like to mix the semi-sweet. Whoop! Uh-oh, can't have any chocolate chips on the floor. We got kitties in the house. Hopefully that was it. And I use the milk chocolate. I like to, and then there are times where I'll use the large morsels instead of the regular size ones. I've added peanut butter morsels, and sometimes I do add nuts to this, but my hubby is not a big nut fan. So I know a lot of the times this is what you want to do ahead of time, but, whoops, that's not what I want. Bake. And on here, it does say to preheat your oven to 375 for the Crisco recipe, but I've come to know my oven, and I've actually, I set it to 370. But I'm just now turning it on because the last step before baking your cookies is you want to put this in the fridge. One of the things that they liked about my cookies was the fact that, you know, like the store-bought cookies, they end up nice and flat. Now there's nothing wrong with those. Definitely nothing wrong with those. But mine were thick. When I scooped it onto the pan, it pretty much kept its form. You know, it expanded a little bit, of course, but because the batter was cold, it kept its form a little better. So my cookies came out nice and thick. So tonight, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop this in the fridge. I'm going to let it sit there at least 10 minutes because it's not exactly too warm in the house. But the warmer you have it in the house, the longer you want to keep it in the fridge to make sure that the batter, I mean, if it's very soft, you definitely want to make sure you keep it in the fridge a little bit longer. Half a day, Ma. Good evening. How are you? You surviving the storms over there? So I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. I mean, in the fridge. And that's the reason why I just now turned on my stove, because the amount of time that this is going to be sitting in the fridge is good enough time for the oven to warm up. Thick cookies, always good. Very true. All right, so I got my cookies in the oven. Just go ahead and tidy up a little bit. The other thing that the smaller morsels work well with, because my middle daughter, Zoe, she's always loved chocolate chip pancakes. So when I make pancakes, if I still have some of these, she'll grab them and she'll put it on top of her pancakes. You're never too old for chocolate chip pancakes. It's just rain. Oh, okay. Yeah. And let's hope, though, that it doesn't turn cold enough to turn that rain into, what do you call that? Into something worse, you know? Huh? Yeah, like what the hubby just said, sleet and ice. Hey, babe, you know, if you could, I don't know. Oh, I need to update my flour container, because otherwise, this is what I do for now until I need to update my flour container. I had one. I could probably use this. I think I was using this for sugar at one point, though. So I probably could use this for my flour. It's got the latch on there. So I could probably end up using this for the flour. I had a Tupperware at one point for my flour. But like I said, that's what I temporarily do for mine. All right. Probably. All right. You know, Jettison, I don't know if you're still there or not, but that's one thing that I don't like about the flat tops, though, is, and I know we've gotten them up before, because when in our last duty station where we were at in Germany, it was also a flat top just like this. And we always have this issue. Just about every house I was in, whether it was in Germany or even being back in the States, whenever they have flat tops like this, getting these rings. I mean, and we've, like I said, it's a pain in the butt, that's all. Getting these darn rings, you know, off the stovetop. I mean, because we do have that cleaner that's specifically to clean the stovetop. I like eating the peanut butter morsels straight out of the bag. Well, I mean, I've done not the peanut butter, I've done the chocolate. Oh, we hit over 23. We got over 20 likes. Yay! Let's see if we can get it to 30. All right. One of the other things while we're waiting is I do use parchment paper whenever I'm baking. You know, this makes the cleanup so much easier. And is it there? Excuse me. And I do use my handy dandy cookie scooper. Now, again, that's really all personal preference, depending on how big you want your cookie. But I am going to be using this for most of the cookies, but I am also going to be making, what do you call that? A slightly thinner cookie, because what I want to do is I want to have some cookies that are going to be good enough to make cookie ice cream sandwiches. Oh yeah. Because the size that I usually make them is about that big. And like I said, they are pretty thick, because they will hold its shape, majority of its shape as it's baking, and it does expand a little bit, but not too much. So that's why I want to go ahead and flatten it out a little bit and make it a little bit bigger, so it's good enough to make cookie ice cream sandwiches. It's hard to clean up, but you can scrape that. Yep, we've done the whole razor thing too. Now that was a pain in the butt for sure. I should make a video about it, but yeah, take a razor and just scrape off that stuff. But yes.
Yeah, that cleaner kit comes with a little razor blade, little tool thing.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, my hubby just chimed in saying, because he's the one that takes care of the stovetop, the last time he got it nice and cleaned up, he says the kit does come with the razor blade.
I'm just lazy and haven't done it.
He just said he's lazy and just hasn't done it. That's okay, because I'm constantly cooking, so you can have the stove looking all brand new, and then I'm going to come behind you and say, okay, it's time for me to cook or bake or whatever, and then I'm going to get the nice cooked on stains on there again. But yeah, so those kits do come with the blades in it. But what do you guys like as your favorite cookies? I do love chocolate chip cookies, but my all-time favorite is oatmeal. Oh yes, oatmeal. That is my favorite. And the recipe that I follow for that one, I thought they had one. I could have sworn I had one. Crisco had one, but pretty much I follow the recipe on the Quaker box. The Quaker Oats box that it comes with. Underneath the lid of the Quaker Oats box is you'll find should be a recipe for oatmeal cookies. So again, if you're not used to looking under those things, you know, under the tabs, look to see if there's any recipes for y'all to try. But it is almost warmed up. Huh? What it do?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, what it do? Need to get me something to drink. Again, if you're new to my channel, I'm actually live streaming to y'all from the beautiful big old state of Texas. And right now, what's the temperature outside, babe?
Fucking cold.
He just says it's effing cold. He's looking it up right now. Let's see. Jettison says, I like plain cookies, for no morsels and a little bit burnt. Oh,
Yeah, it's actually not as bad. It's 47.
it's 47 degrees right now. It is
Texas.
6:17 p.m. here in Texas, and it is 47 degrees.
I'll tell you right now, I don't miss the snow. I won't be saying that in another year.
Jettison also said it's effing cold in Alabama too. Snowball cookies, they can be flavored many ways. Shortbread cookies, snowball cookies. Okay, are snowball cookies made with coconut? Is that why they're called snowball? Maybe the next time I make cookies for y'all, I will make oatmeal cookies. All right, we got about 20 degrees to go in the oven. It's heating up nicely. But in this sheet and this size, I can normally get on about a dozen and a half, maybe 2 dozen. But we'll see what's going to happen tonight, because once I fill up at least half the tray with my regular size cookies, I'm going to be making a few a little bigger and just a little bit flatter, so there's more room to put some ice cream between them. Oh, Ma's got us beat on the East Coast. 32 degrees. Nope. Yesterday when we were out working, not only was it cold, but we also had the wind chill.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 38.
Our low is supposed to be 38. Oh, that's the oven saying it's ready.
But yeah, it's about maybe in the 50s and 40s.
All right. And that's the other thing I like about, I do like the having a crispy outside and then the soft towards the center. All right, let's do one more row. All right. So if I knew how to make windmill cookies, I would never buy them again. I think they are called Spanish wedding cookies. It's a Greek cookie, also traditionally almond flavored with confectioner sugar. I might have tried those. All right. So that's all I do to make my cookies a little flatter, and give it a little space. I mean, I could make it a lot bigger than this, bigger than my palm, but that's okay. Because then that means I have to put more ice cream between the cookies. And right now to make that size is about 1.5, like 1.5 scoops. But like I said, I want to try and keep some of the thickness to it. Because nothing like a soggy cookie. Right, babe? All right. Trying to keep them all about the same size. But Ma, I believe I have tried those cookies. When you say the wedding cookies, I believe I might have tried those. All right. This one. Add more to that center of that cookie. Same thing to this one. I've yet to try and do this, so honestly, I don't know how much, being that these are going to be flatter, I don't know how much more these cookies are going to spread. But I have enough to make 3 more regular size. Got to get the cookie dough that's stuck in there. Give me my cookie dough. That one's going to be an odd shape. Okay. Hey, Mikey. Good evening. How's it going? All right. What did I miss? No, you're not. Those cookies are gonna make your house smell good. Yes, for sure. All right, so we're gonna pop this in the oven according to the Crisco recipe. Again, because I know my oven, I do reduce the heat. It does say 375. And basically you are gonna cook it about, if you want them to be chewy cookies, between 8 to 10. So I kind of do it in between. It says 8 to 10 minutes for chewy cookies or 11 to 13 minutes for a crisp cookie. So what I do is I go ahead and let it bake for at least 10 minutes. And then I take it out and then I leave it on the tray and continue to cook on the tray for at least another minute or two before I sorry babe, but I added more dishes. Before I take it off to put it on the cooling rack. That was another tip that I got from someone else, that watching them bake their cookies. And for that specific recipe, she says if you really want to get it to this type of consistency, you know, when it comes out of the oven, don't take it off the cookie rack right away. Depending again on if you want it that nice, a little bit on the soft side, so that way you get a little bit of the chewiness. Let it continue to cook on the cookie sheet after it comes out of the oven. And that's going to be the other key factor too, whenever you're baking, is you really got to know, if even if the recipe says 350, 375, if you know your oven gets too hot, even at that temperature, or doesn't get hot enough, make sure you adjust the temperature accordingly. It's a simple cookie, just butter, flour, confectioner sugar, a little salt, and extract. Hey, Colleen. Good evening. How are you? Half a day. Ball them up. They go in the powdered sugar for a toss. Then let them cool and toss them again. Ooh, that does sound really good. Are you doing good out there, Mikey? You making good money? We're hoping we think it was successful nights. The last couple of nights that we worked, again, if you guys watched my first episode of season 2 for my Vlogmas journey for this year, I kind of explained a little bit as to why y'all haven't seen me, or I haven't really been making any posts with my long form, my short videos, as well as even going live. But I had family come over, fly in. We had someone coming from Colorado, and one of my sisters. We had my brother come all the way from Guam. So because I live closest to the Austin airport, we were the ones to pick them up and drop them off as well. But anyways, fast forward to when he left Sunday morning. His flight boarded 5:30 in the morning. So we got him there by 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah. And prior to that, 6 hours before that, or 7 hours, something like that, maybe it was closer to 7 hours, one of my sisters who flew in from Colorado, she had left, so we had to take her to the airport. So it was, even though Sundays are our best, days to work, we were lucky really to get in the hours that we did, as tired as we were, especially the hubby. Since he was the one that drove to and from the airport, I just tagged So yeah, it was a long day for sure. You're doing right. That's all we can do for the most part. Hi there. Good evening. Thank you for joining. I was really, honestly, I was, which it's not a problem with family when they come in. It's to be expected when they stay with you, honestly. Um, and especially driving to and from where my mom and my other sisters live, which is a 35 to 45 minute, depending on where we're going. So from Wednesday before Thanksgiving through Sunday, yeah, a whole lot of driving. There was a whole lot of driving, but it was fun. When my family, they were getting to head out. Oh, and I forgot my sister her and her husband are stationed in San Antonio. They drove in for Thanksgiving and they stayed here at Hotel Melissa. So it was Melissa's taxi service and Hotel Melissa. But I always enjoy that. You know, I get to share my culinary skills with my family, especially my brother, because he knew that we had a food truck. And so I did get to cook for him, here and there. So he could sample some of my stuff. But, he's older than me, and he's now in the 60s club. And he's also trying to eat healthy. And a lot of the food that we cooked on the truck, yeah, we had some grilling going on, but there was also a whole lot of frying. And some of the stuff that I wanted to cook for him, you know, was frying. So, no problem. Just call me Rodina. Okay, Rodina. Good evening. Hafa. That's how we say hello in Guam. All right, we just got 3 more likes to go before we hit 30. And we've got less than 4 minutes to go before, and I kind of want to pop the oven on just to see. Babe, did you say you did replace the light bulb in here?
Yes, ma'am.
You did? Wait, where's my light? Where is the light?
Top left.
Top left. That's for the microwave.
That's not on the top, it's on the back, where the buttons are for the stove.
Uh-huh.
There's a little switch up on the top left.
Oh, that top left. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, baby. I'd show you guys, but let me see. Let me see if I can. Just don't mind the oven, please. Ugh. All right, let's see. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Can you see that? Those cookies, bacon. Oh, no, too close. Yep. It's a bacon. Baking, not bacon. So we got okay. So like I said, we got just a little over 2 minutes before, and they are looking good. It is smelling really good. Oh wow, those big cookies are coming out really nice. I don't know how long I'd be able to wait after the cookie, because again, that is one of the tips when it comes to baking cookies. When it comes out of the oven, to leave it on the cookie sheet for a couple more minutes, because then that way it's going to continue cooking. Yes, because we try to keep it 18 and over, please. We try to keep it 18 and over. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to put out there again, as soon as I'm done with the live stream, I will be making sure that my episode 2 of my Vlogmas will be available. Oh, if you guys could only smell this. Babe, can you smell it? Mm-hmm. Can you smell it? Woo, we're up to 28 likes. Come on, 2 more. You can smell it? We need 2 more. Vlogmas, that's right. Vlogging for Christmas. And they're going to be video vlogs. They won't be Christmas, live vlogs. Oh. Woo. Woo. There. I washed 2 items for you, my love. All right. Let's bring this down. Bring this closer. All right, let me take a look at it, make sure. No. I'm actually going to let it run 2 minutes longer. $29. Let's get one more. 29 views. Woo! Or I meant likes. Rodina, it's only because we try to make sure that 18 and older for the live streams. I appreciate you popping in and joining us and watching and all. But we try to keep it at 18 and older. All right. So I wanted to cook just a tad bit longer, only because of those thicker, the big cookies. That's the only thing. That was the only thing I was probably concerned about was if I should change the time. You would think it really wouldn't make too much of a difference, but I don't know. I'm looking at the big cookies right now, and honestly, it looks like it still could use some cooking. But they look good. They look good. I don't want to overcook the smaller ones either. Maybe that's what we need to do to make them a little bit more on for the crispy side. Yay, we hit 30. Thank you guys. Woohoo. Thank you guys so much. All right, so I did add another 2 minutes because I just want to make sure the bigger cookies are going to be okay. I don't want to take them out and then they deflate. It's hard to tell really. Okay, I have to open the oven for real quick. Open. Okay. Coming out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. So again, like I said, with the smaller cookies, they are keeping the shape. So did the larger cookies. They did spread out just a tad bit more than the smaller ones. But look at that. And there you go. Like I said, I'm probably gonna, let me see. Because right now, if you were to touch it, it's still, okay. I probably, thank you. Because I should have taken it out when I originally said I was going to. Because I let it cook a little bit longer, I'm going to go ahead and take it off the cookie rack, because otherwise it's cooking the bottom. Let me see. Yeah, it's still cooking the bottom, and I don't want that. Like I said, I should have taken it out when I should have stuck to my initial time. I just threw myself off because of the bigger cookies. But do you see what I mean? How it keeps its shape? You pop your cookie dough into the fridge before you bake them. And if you have a lot of cookie dough, while you're waiting for the first batch to cook, throw that cookie dough in the fridge. Especially during the winter season when we tend to keep the house a little warmer. You don't want your cookie dough to be too soft, because it will flatten out more. It will flatten out more, and that's really the only, reason for that I can think of, at least, for popping your dough into the fridge. And see what I mean? Like I said, using the parchment paper. I love using parchment paper when I'm baking. Gotta make room for the big cookies. All right, so I made 1.5 dozen of the smaller cookies. Oh yeah, I gotta take these off. They keep cooking. Hey babe, you want to make a ice cream sandwich with the cookies? You just want cookies and milk? And like I said, easy cleanup. Easy breezy. Lemon squeezy. Okay. Ma says, if you want flatter and crispier, just use a little more butter. I don't use butter in my cookies. I use Crisco. Hey, no cookies. A bad cookie. I do not cook. I used to make them ahead of time, double batches, then shape them and freeze them on a sheet pan. Once froze, they store beautifully in a Ziploc bag. I then just grab what you need. Okay, so and freeze them. So you're talking about before you bake it, you would take the cookie dough and that's what you freeze after you shape them? I have a picky cookie eater, butter only. One of the original recipes, because that's the recipe I used that, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, so years ago when first learning how to, make cookies from scratch, so I should come home. Zozo. Did you see what she said? So I should come home and get cookies, right? So I would actually follow the milk chocolate. Oh, see, and this one's oatmeal cookies though. The semi-sweet has, okay, now these are chocolate chip cookie recipe. Now this one calls for flour, baking soda, salt, butter, granulated sugar and brown sugar, vanilla extract, eggs. So I see that is one of the difference in the recipe for the Toll House cookies and Crisco. This one, the Toll House is, it calls for regular sugar and brown sugar. That is the biggest difference between the Toll House cookie and the Crisco. Toll House cookies originated in my state. They always use butter. And this was the first recipe. Using it, following it on the back of the chocolate chip. That was the original recipe that I used. But once I learned about Crisco, this is the one. That's the one I like. At least for me personally. That's just me. Let me see if I can find it. Do I still have it? Do I still have it? Do I still have it? Probably not. The oatmeal? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Oh, is it? Let's move this over. So you guys can get a closer examination of the cookies. All right. So here's the big cookies. And it's still a little bit on the soft side, but can you guys hear that? So it does have some firmness to the bottom part of the cookie. So that's one of the things I like about cookies that are crispier on the outside, because kind of like what I sometimes do with the chips, potato chips, I'll eat along the edges of the cookie before I hit the center. If you use the dark brown sugar, it lends a hand to chewiness. Maybe that's the other reason why I like that. Because I like the combination of the chewy, soft, and a little bit of the, the crispiness to it. When I was a kid, some weeks mom could afford extra butter for cookies, but always kept a huge container of Crisco in the pantry. All right. You guys ready to try it? Oh, babe, you ready to come try it? Look at that. Cheers. Smell-o-vision. I'll give him the one with the more chocolate chips. No, the big ones are for the ice cream. Again, one of the reasons why it's okay to leave it on the cookie sheet. The bottom, if you guys can see that, has that crispiness to it, while you still have that nice, soft, chewy center. I'm gonna let the big cookies cool down just a little more. Because I don't want the ice cream to be melting all over it. But there you guys go. Chocolate chip cookies baked from scratch. So many different ways you can make cookies. This is just one way with slight tweakingness. You know, brown sugar. Make sure you put it in the fridge before you bake it. And then even using the different types of morsels, the chip morsels. It doesn't have to be chocolate. It can be peanut butter or what other fun flavors they have out there for the morsels. But ooh, we made it to 31.
I'm gonna convince Zoe.
Okay, hold on, we're getting ready to end.
Show them too.
Oh yeah. I don't think so. She'd be like, I don't think so. But okay. Nice. We throw a little flaky sea salt on them now. It intensifies the flavor. Huh. Do I have? No, I don't have. I have kosher salt. I have sea salt, but it's the fine one. And then I also have the coarse kosher salt. But that's not the same thing, is it, Ma? Sorry about that, Justin. But this isn't the same thing, right? The coarse kosher salt, because for the sea salt, you would need the coarse one as well. I'll have to remember that next time. But for those that are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to smash those like buttons and go and watch my other videos that I've posted. There's more cooking. There's more, so much more than what you just saw from the live stream tonight. Whichever I prefer. Just not table salt. Okay. All right. Let me just try. Wait. Can we see it? Oh. All right. And see, it holds. It holds. All right. So I'm taking one of the cookies and just a tiny pinch of the sea salt. Because I know I've watched that I have seen that on shows where they have the coarse flakes for sea salt, and they just put it right on top. All right, so I have that sea salt there. I'll try that. Okay. Cheers. Thanks for the tip, Mom. Here we go. Oh. Wow. That just like what do you call that?
Apple hug.
Yeah, like you said, it just really brings out all the flavors. Wow. So that's another tip. If you have sea salt, I would probably prefer the larger pieces, but even if you have the fine sea salt, when your cookies come out, just drizzle or, take a pinch or two and put them on top of your cookies. That's really good. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go back to my channel and view my other videos, my other shorts, my short videos, the long form videos, and continue to support me on my journey to 4,000 watch hours, because I'm still on that journey. Sweet and salty hits all the satisfaction senses in our brains. Happy belly. That's right. But y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Until then, adios for now. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for being here. Smash that like button. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye. Bye.